There is a distinct, quiet panic that every gardener knows all too well. You walk out to your garden bed or check on your favorite indoor pots, only to notice a pale, sickly shade of yellow creeping across the leaves. Perhaps a plant that was thriving just last week has suddenly stopped growing, its stems turning weak and brittle. In that moment of worry, the most common instinct is to reach for the nearest bottle of heavy-duty chemical fertilizer. We think that if a plant is struggling, we must dump more and more food into the soil to force it back to life. But most gardeners don't know this. Flooding a weak plant with synthetic fertilizers is often the fastest way to kill it. When a plant's root system is compromised, stressed, or struggling, its ability to process heavy nutrients is severely diminished. Pouring concentrated chemical nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium onto damaged roots causes a phenomenon known as fertilizer burn. The excess salts in the fertilizer draw moisture away from the roots, dehydrating the plant from the bottom up and leaving it even more vulnerable to diseases and pests. Before you can help a weak plant, you must understand what its leaves are trying to tell you. Yellowing leaves, or chlorosis, can point to several different issues. If the yellowing starts at the bottom of the plant and slowly works its way up, it is often a sign of nitrogen deficiency. However, if the leaves are turning yellow but the veins remain dark green, your plant might be suffering from iron chlorosis, which is frequently caused by poor root health or compacted soil. Instead of overwhelming a fragile plant with harsh chemicals, experienced organic gardeners rely on a gentle, natural approach to nurse their plants back to health. Today, we are going to explore a highly effective, time-tested home remedy that utilizes 3 simple ingredients from your kitchen: garlic, turmeric, and milk. This is not just a random mixture, it is a carefully balanced tonic that targets plant health from multiple angles. When combined and applied correctly, these ingredients act as a mild nutrient supplement, a natural pest deterrent, and a powerful shield against fungal pathogens. Here's where the real secret begins: the preparation process. To unlock the true potential of this formula, we must start with the garlic. Garlic is widely celebrated in the organic gardening community, not just for its pungent aroma, but for its rich concentration of natural sulfur compounds. Sulfur is an essential macronutrient for plants, playing a critical role in the formation of proteins, chlorophyll, and key enzymes. Additionally, the sulfur compounds in garlic, such as allicin, serve as a highly effective, non-toxic defense mechanism against common garden pests and harmful microbes. For this recipe, we will start with 3 fresh, plump cloves of garlic. It is vital to use fresh garlic, rather than pre-peeled or powdered varieties, as the active, beneficial compounds are highly volatile and degrade quickly over time. I take these 3 cloves and chop them as finely as possible. Some gardeners prefer to crush the garlic, but finely chopping it is actually the superior method. By dicing the garlic into tiny pieces, we significantly increase its surface area. This allows for maximum contact with the water during the extraction phase. When the physical structure of the garlic is broken down, its water-soluble compounds can dissolve into the liquid much more efficiently. Once the garlic is finely diced, I transfer it into a clean, sterile glass jar. Next, I add 500 milliliters, which is approximately 2 cups, of warm water. The temperature of the water is a critical detail that many people skip. The water must be warm to the touch, but never hot or boiling. If the water is too hot, it will cook the garlic and destroy the delicate, heat-sensitive enzymes and sulfur compounds that our plants need. Warm water, on the other hand, acts as a gentle solvent, accelerating the rate at which the beneficial nutrients and aromatic compounds dissolve into the solution. I use a clean wooden spoon to gently stir the mixture, ensuring that every tiny piece of chopped garlic is fully submerged and evenly distributed throughout the water. Now, we must let this mixture steep undisturbed for about 30 minutes. During this quiet soaking period, the water will gradually extract the potent, water-soluble defense compounds from the garlic, creating a highly concentrated botanical base. What happened next surprised me when I first began experimenting with natural plant tonics years ago. After the garlic has steeped for a full 30 minutes, the water will have taken on a cloudy, slightly yellowish tint and a strong, sharp aroma. This is the exact moment to introduce our second powerhouse ingredient, turmeric. We will add 1 teaspoon of high-quality turmeric powder directly into the garlic water. To truly appreciate why turmeric is included in this formula, we have to look at its active biological compound, curcumin. Curcumin is a natural polyphenol with extraordinary antifungal, antibacterial, and antioxidant properties. In the wild, plants are constantly under attack by microscopic fungal spores that float through the air, waiting for a weak, stressed leaf to land on. When a plant is already struggling, its natural immune system is down, making it an easy target for diseases like powdery mildew, black spot, and rust. Turmeric acts as an organic shield, inhibiting the germination of fungal spores and preventing them from taking hold on the plant's foliage. However, there is a physical challenge we must address. Curcumin is hydrophobic, meaning it does not dissolve well in water. As you stir the turmeric powder into the warm garlic water, you will notice that much of the powder remains suspended in the liquid, eventually settling to the bottom of the jar. This incomplete dissolution is completely normal, but it is also the reason why a meticulous filtration process is absolutely mandatory later on. If we were to spray these undissolved turmeric particles directly onto our plants, they would clog the fine nozzle of our spray bottle and leave a thick, dusty residue on the leaves that could block sunlight. After stirring the turmeric into the garlic water, it is time to add the final ingredient, 150 milliliters of fresh, unsweetened milk. The choice of milk is incredibly important. You must use unsweetened milk. Either whole milk or skim milk works well, but it must be entirely free of added sugars, flavorings, or preservatives. Sugar is a major hazard in the garden. If you apply sweetened milk to your plants, you will inadvertently invite colonies of ants, aphids, and harmful molds to feast on your leaves. Many people are surprised to hear that milk is beneficial for plants, but seasoned organic growers have used it as a foliar spray for generations. Milk is packed with calcium, proteins, and essential minerals. Calcium is a fundamental building block for plant cell walls. When a plant absorbs calcium through its leaves, its cellular structure becomes stronger and more resilient, making it much harder for sucking pests and fungal hyphae to penetrate the leaf surface. Furthermore, the proteins in milk contain amino acids that act as natural chelators. These proteins help the plant absorb other micronutrients more efficiently. When milk is exposed to sunlight, it also exhibits mild antiseptic properties, further protecting the leaf surface from pathogens. I stir the mixture thoroughly, watching as the deep yellow of the turmeric, the cloudy white of the milk, and the garlic-infused water blend into a rich golden-orange liquid. At this stage, we have created our potent base mixture. But here is the step many people skip. This concentrated liquid is far too strong to be applied directly to your plants. It is a raw, undiluted botanical concentrate. Applying it in this state would overwhelm the plant, potentially causing leaf scorch or attracting pests due to the high concentration of organic matter. To turn this raw concentrate into a safe, life-giving tonic, we must proceed to the crucial steps of filtration and precise dilution. This is the step where many well-intentioned gardeners make a critical mistake that can ruin all their hard work. They assume that because the ingredients are natural, more concentrated must mean better. In the world of plant care, this is a dangerous misconception. Plants are incredibly sensitive organisms, and their leaves are covered in delicate structures designed to breathe, absorb light, and regulate moisture. If you apply a solution that is too thick or highly concentrated, you risk suffocating the leaves and causing severe osmotic stress. To prevent this, we must first filter our golden base mixture. I set up a clean glass container and place a fine mesh strainer over the opening. For the absolute best results, I line the strainer with a layer of cheesecloth or a clean paper coffee filter. This extra layer is vital for catching the tiny, undissolved particles of turmeric and the fine bits of chopped garlic. I slowly pour the mixture through the filter. Watch as the thick, fibrous pulp is left behind, leaving us with a smooth, beautifully consistent, golden yellow liquid. This filtered liquid contains all the dissolved sulfur, calcium, proteins, and curcumin compounds, but without any of the solid debris that could clog our equipment or rot on our plant's leaves. Now, we must measure out our active dose. I carefully measure exactly 100 milliliters of our freshly filtered base mixture. The remaining concentrate can be set aside, but keep in mind that because this formula contains fresh, raw ingredients and milk, it has a very short shelf life. It will begin to ferment and spoil rapidly if left at room temperature. For this reason, I highly recommend only mixing the exact amount you plan to use immediately. If you ever open a stored batch of this mixture and notice an unusual, sour smell, mold growth, or any strange color changes, discard it immediately. Using spoiled milk or fermented garlic on your plants can introduce harmful bacteria and pathogens, defeating the entire purpose of the treatment. To dilute our 100 milliliters of filtered concentrate, we will add it to exactly 1 liter of clean, room-temperature water. This represents a precise 1:10 dilution ratio, 1 part concentrate to 10 parts water. This specific ratio is the golden rule of this formula. It dilutes the active ingredients to a level that is incredibly gentle on sensitive plant tissues, while still retaining enough potency to deliver significant nutritional and protective benefits. I stir the diluted solution gently once more to ensure that the concentrate is completely and evenly distributed throughout the water. Before you rush out to spray every plant in your garden, there is one more vital safety precaution that every experienced gardener practices: the patch test. Just as you would test a new skincare product on a small patch of skin before applying it to your face, you must test this solution on a small, inconspicuous leaf before treating the entire plant. Different plant species have vastly different leaf structures, wax coatings, and sensitivities. Spray a tiny amount of the diluted solution onto 1 or 2 leaves, and then wait 24 to 48 hours. Observe the tested leaves closely. If they remain healthy, vibrant, and show no signs of spotting, browning, or wilting, you can safely proceed with treating the rest of the plant. This simple, patient step is the ultimate safety net that separates master gardeners from amateurs. The results became visible just days after I first applied this diluted formula to a struggling, yellowing pepper plant in my greenhouse. But to achieve those eye-opening results, you must apply the solution using the correct technique and at the right time of day. Timing is everything when it comes to foliar spraying. You should only spray your plants in the early morning hours, just as the sun is rising, or in the cool of the late afternoon, when the sun has dipped below the horizon. Never spray your plants during the middle of the day when the sun is at its brightest and hottest. Water droplets sitting on a leaf can act like tiny magnifying glasses, focusing the intense sunlight, and causing severe burn spots on the foliage. Furthermore, spraying during the cooler hours allows the plant's stomata, the microscopic pores on the underside of the leaves, to remain open. When the stomata are open, the plant can actively drink in the water-soluble nutrients, calcium, and amino acids from our milk and garlic infusion. When you spray, use a bottle that produces a very fine, gentle mist. Lightly coat the upper surfaces of the leaves, but pay special attention to the undersides, as this is where many pests like spider mites and aphids love to hide, and where the majority of the plant's stomata are located. There is no need to drench the plant until the liquid is running off the leaves in heavy streams. A light, even dew-like coating is all that is required. If your plant responds well to the initial treatment, you can repeat this application every 10 to 14 days. There is absolutely no need to use it every day. Over-applying any foliar spray, even a natural one, can lead to a buildup of residue on the leaves, which can interfere with photosynthesis. Think of this tonic as a healthy vitamin supplement rather than a daily meal. Within a week of the first application, you can expect to see the first signs of recovery. The yellowing on the leaves will stop spreading, and the existing green areas will begin to take on a deeper, richer hue as chlorophyll production is stimulated. By the second week, you will likely notice tiny, vibrant green shoots and new leaf buds beginning to push through the stems. The garlic's sulfur will have helped deter pests, while the milk's calcium and the turmeric's curcumin will have strengthened the plant's natural defenses against environmental stress. However, we must always remember a fundamental truth of gardening. No single formula, no matter how powerful, can replace the basic conditions that a plant needs to survive and thrive. This garlic, turmeric, and milk mixture is an incredible tool to help support a weak plant, but it cannot fix the damage caused by poor soil, improper watering, or lack of sunlight. If your plant is seriously struggling, you must look at the bigger picture. Is the soil draining properly? Or are the roots suffocating in soggy mud? Is the plant receiving the right amount of daily sunlight for its species? Are the roots bound and cramped in a pot that is too small? True gardening success comes from observing our plants closely, understanding their natural rhythms, and working in harmony with nature. By combining this gentle, natural remedy with proper watering habits, healthy soil, and adequate light, you give your plants the absolute best chance to live a long, beautiful, and productive life. If you found this practical, step-by-step guide helpful and want to learn more real-world organic gardening secrets, please take a moment to like this video, leave a comment sharing your experience, and subscribe to the channel. Happy gardening, and may your plants grow strong and beautiful.